Alrighty. Let's go to other.
So if you've never been to this panel before, what we're going to do, we're going to write a story. We're going to write a story as so the reason you have all the paper is basically we're going to put up, we're going with Dark and Stormy Night for,
You want it to be something else?
we can do a Dark and Stormy Night. So that's the tradition.
That's the tradition.
I have memories with that phrase.
Once we get a projector, we'll basically have the running story as it goes. So what will happen is we'll start with the Dark and Stormy Night. And everyone who's up in the round will secretly write down what they think needs to go in the story next. You don't have to write a complete sentence. It could be a Dark and Stormy Night, and Alkali, or and Dragger, or it was Dark and Stormy Night, and we were standing outside, there's a fire alarm, period. Full stop. You can cut your sentence off wherever you want. Remember punctuation and spelling, I will mock them as I see fit. But just general guideline is you can anywhere from a few words to a couple sentences. Try not to write like 4 paragraphs or answer. The story will run a few paragraphs, and then at the end of the story, the final round is about the moral. So how do we decide what actually goes in the story? Because a bunch of people are going to be submitting. Or we're doing by popular vote, of course. So whatever the audience likes best becomes canon in the story, and we just continue going and building the story from there. And because we're doing this analog style, we're just going to have a handful of people up each round to add we can call it the next line of the story.
Probably gonna do 4 and 4, and then as more people filter in, we'll do like
That sounds good.
3, 4, whatever. Come on in, come play Scribbles and Bits with us. So to start with, we'll do you, and you two. So here's how this goes. You will soon see at some point projected on maybe my bald head. It was a dark and stormy night. Start writing and scribbling your bits. That's the namesake of the panel. That's all ages.
It's copyrighted, no? Trademark.
Is it really? I thought no, it's too old. It's public domain. It was a dark and stormy night. Or you mean Scribbles and Bits?
Scribbles and Bits is totally my copyright.
Oh, good.
Used with permission by Dragger.
I've never asked permission. Actually, I've asked every time.
You have?
But yes, write what you think the next thing will be on a little scrap of paper, and then we collect them all, and then we read them off. We all vote on what we want the next line to be. Zen, are you ready?
I got Alkali so far.
Just came in. Let me give you some paper. If you want to pre-tear stuff into sheets, you just tear it off as you go. That's fine. All right. And when we have an odd number, like sometimes we'll have 5, sometimes we'll have 4, we'll work on it. Go back and forth. Some people, the last time I did this, wrote their lines like several turns ahead and just gambled.
I like gambling.
Oh, we never read off the last story.
You can read off the last story.
Wait. So to get an example of how this goes, let's see. What is the most recent one? Was it Anthrohio 2018? Yeah. Oh no, BLFC.
BLFC was the last time.
Okay, so now there were voices for this one because someone else wanted to read it off. It was a dark and stormy night, and all the hotel's internet stopped working violently. The air conditioning was nice though. Sorry, I'm drunk. It's pretty cold actually. Wait, who said that? I turn around and ah! The narrator had been violently dealt with, much like the hotel internet they had been speaking of. Rutabagas, rutabagas, rutabagas everywhere. It all made sense now. The vegetables were behind everything. Crikey! Someone get my plot device. With plot device in hand, we activate it violently. It was a dark and stormy night. Everyone in the hotel had no memory of the last hour and 20 minutes, including a drunk Scottishman and a crazy Australian. The moral of the story is, and someone actually wrote it this way on the strip of paper, getting smaller. The moral of the story is, the moral of the story is, the moral of the story is, the moral of the story. So that's one example of a goofy, really weirdness.
Was that the moral?
Yes.
The moral of the story
Look,
was
this is
infinite
what they
recursion.
did to me.
It's what they like.
I love this panel.
So,
Did everybody get in?
do we have VGA cable?
I think I have
Well,
40.
it's HDMI acceptable.
Everyone's done writing?
I,
We can start.
yeah, I think there might be a.
There is VGA, but I need a cable.
No, I don't have it. I'll be.
We have those cables.
Yeah, okay, great. I'll be right back.
All right, so I'm going to read these answers now. It was a dark and stormy night. This is how we're going to continue it. The furries were twerking. Dark and stormy night, and we needed more beer. Oh yeah, we were definitely going to need more beer before this misadventure was all over. It's really raining outside. It was a dark and stormy night, and we were getting wet. ... Real wet. It's a dark and stormy night. Alkali made a terrible mistake. It began with not knowing how to say no.
That is true.
That is all the ones that I have. So, so by popular vote, try to only vote for one, but if you really like two of them, you can vote twice. I'm not paying that much attention. Furries were twerking. Who votes for that one? 2, 3. Getting wet, real wet. 1, 2, 3. All right. We needed more beer. Oh yeah, definitely gonna need more beer. Misadventure. All right. 2. Alkali made a terrible mistake. It began with not knowing how to say no. 2. All right, so we have a tie amongst the first two. So the way the rules work that you didn't know is the sentence. Well, the response that is longer breaks the tie. So it's we were getting wet, real wet. You can deal with the punctuation. So yeah, pick more people. More people came in. So who? You didn't write in the last round. Write in this round?
How many of you did not write? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, pick 4 of them, and then we do the next one, because otherwise it
1,
takes a
2,
long time to
3,
read
4.
stuff.
And then we'll fix it from there and do like just 5.
You can do that too.
If we just do half the room with half the room.
That works. So, the story thus far. It was a dark and stormy night. We were getting wet. Real wet.
Real is in capitals.
That was a slight...
No, I'm pretty sure it's
Translation. It's just bigger. Phrasing.
those look like capitals.
They all are, but some are more capital than others.
Like this is Arial bold and this is Arial.
You chose to interpret font weights. I chose to interpret different levels of capitalism.
Well, this is clearly not Coot the True type font, so
The free market dictates.
It's okay, he doesn't know he's a homeless man.
So who here got a full, complete, happy, restful night's sleep?
I've been awake since yesterday.
Fuck you!
I live a half hour away and I'm driving back and forth each day.
So that means you are not, did you hear about the fire alarm at 7:30 in the morning?
I heard about both fire alarms. I was gone last night for the first
Denver
one.
had one 15 minutes before us too.
Please tell me I remembered what the VGA cord was correctly.
that's not a VGA cable.
That's
It's composite cable.
Nisbet, come here. Do you have your phone? Do you have your phone?
Yes,
Take out your phone.
yes.
Take a picture of this blue one.
It's a 15 pin cable. Yeah, just tear it up. It's paper.
it's already dead.
If you are coming in, we have pens and we have paper here for you. We are doing this analog. That is about as much energy as I would expect anyone to muster right now saying yay.
After those fire alarms? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm running off of like 3.5 hours of sleep. Oh, today's gonna be hard. It's already hard.
Real hard.
I'm just glad we didn't decide to do the other thing with this panel, because that'd be really fun to like do Pictionary without ways to actually see the picture. That was hilarious. Remember that time we played Jackbox and someone joined us from not where we were at?
Yeah, that was cool.
So if you're familiar with Drawful and like Jackbox games things, you can join and play on your phone, but if you can't see the game, it's a really interesting experience. They beat almost everyone that was there.
I do that on Twitch Live. I'll just turn this and that's one good.
Come in and join. The story is underway. We have pens and scraps of paper up here. We are.
Bless you.
Are you still responsible for this one?
Very blessed.
Okay. Please finish.
Bless.
He's just explaining how much we're doing.
Ow. Yes. Ow.
Have everyone
Do you need Rutgers count?
Yes.
Hi.
Thank you. Alright, I have all the responses. Yes.
Congratulations.
Here we go.
Yay,
Seriously though, do we not have a screen?
It was a dark and stormy night and we were getting wet. Real wet.
Yeah, it was, never mind. We will take a look. This room was what set up in West Box, so I don't know what happened.
It was a dark and stormy night, we were getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. Keep in mind, if you really like one, which one you're going to vote for. Someone decided it would be a good idea to get into the hotel pool while wearing a fursuit. Alkali scowled at Knuckles the cheetah? Echidna? What?
Echidna.
Echidna, thank you. You know that if, this is an Alkali voice, you know that if we can't get the Prime Minister's prosthetic hand out of this storm grate, we're going to have to move the con from Buckingham Palace to a disused garage.
Okay.
That's amazing.
That is
Is that the sound? We are in the garage. There's a piece of grinding metal. So we're getting wet, real wet, as we approach the Canadian border, ... And those are all my choices. All right, so who wants to vote for? So it was dark and stormy night, and we were getting wet, real wet.
Wet, real wet.
We were getting wet, real wet. Someone decided that they were going to go in the hotel pool in a fursuit. Who votes for that one? 2.
And so I have to like sort of and keep a rank going so I don't have to remember the count.
As we approach the Canadian border. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. 5. And Alkali scowled at Knuckles. Prime Minister's prosthetic hand out of the can't get the prosthetic hand out of the storm grate. Who wants that one? Now we're in a disused garage. All right. So with 5, yes, real hassle. That's the longer one. So now it is a dark and stormy night. Getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. Who hasn't gone yet? That wants to go. Okay, you're in, you're in, you're in, and you're in. All right, cool. You 4 right.
It was a dark and stormy night and we were getting wet. Real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. What is the next horrible line in this story?
I don't think you want to know.
This is like the dimmest projector of all time. Is it even doing anything?
No, not yet.
It's whining a lot.
Is it not focused at all? Is that the problem? I think it's just not focused. I'm waiting for like shrapnel to come out of that.
This tracker's looking at it directly.
No, I mean, what was the original?
I spent $600 on a projector and I get this? I want one of my good ones. I brought my good ones.
I remember when I was in art school for a brief period of time, we were looking at like ancient art, and this was the kind of thing they would show all the slides on. Because I remember the noise and the smell. All right.
Yay.
Da-da-da-da, da-da-da. Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Probably showing it on the side.
I love the flush. Love the slurps.
Apologies for all the weird whatever.
Oh.
Hey, we got a projector.
Yes, we do.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Where's it going? Right here?
Three. All right.
There you go.
Oh. Hey, sometimes you get inspired. What can I say?
What?
It's too early for that.
No kidding.
Or
Yes,
late.
I'm so
We're
tired.
just gonna just like
I
4 or
have
5 people each time, but you haven't gone yet.
Oh,
I couldn't tell if we needed to have here something.
I just don't have to read like 10 of them each time.
this.
You're on like occasionally rotating, you know.
It's so magical.
I mean, you can still move the projector. It's just you gotta
I
get
just.
set up.
I don't want to get.
I'm afraid to move that.
Do other people need pens and blank paper? Anybody?
And now I'm trapped. I trapped myself. Fantastic.
That means you don't have to do any more con work.
Apparently.
Catch a tiger behind the projector.
Very good.
Love you too, Iggy. Love you too. Do I need to?
Take a look at it.
I mean, like, I don't even think these feet adjust. The fluff kind of.
They're on my phone. Yes.
Did that not work?
That works.
Then you get a
I
text.
feel like I'm like, this is like voyeur cam.
I was gonna say, it makes me
So maybe
feel
if
like
we,
a back
maybe if we turn off a couple of the lights,
Yeah.
next to it, it'll be easier to see.
Why is
Here
there?
goes nothing. What? Oh,
And that did help.
Yeah,
did it really?
Yeah,
All right, cool.
yeah, that's good.
That's, I think, the only light switch that's actually in this room that's not in this box.
I don't even know how to work this thing.
Yay, technology.
It's great until it breaks.
I don't understand.
Or things go wrong.
Okay, read the thing.
It was dark and stormy night, and we were getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle.
But we disposed of all the
we
evidence.
disposed of all the evidence. So, remember which one you like best. I'm going to go through them quickly here. Just as the last of the syrup washed down the drain, Husku turned into alkali. Suddenly, a group of circles emerged from the nearby fountain.
Well, this is.
That was a cheesy line.
Bert the raccoon fur was in the dumpster. Hope he likes musk. No, officer, I didn't see him, they said, coughing up a collar. And that is when the Canadian Maple Leaf Starships arrived.
Whoa.
Okay, so I'm going to start from the beginning here. Who votes for Bert the raccoon, was in the dumpster, likes musk? No. Suddenly a group of circles emerged from the nearby fountain. 2. Just as the last of the syrup washed down the drain, Husku turned to alkali. 2. No, officer, I didn't see him coughing up a collar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish, okay. And that is when the Canadian Maple Leaf Starships arrived. 4. All right, so your winner is this one. No, officer. Now. All right, so who went in the first round? And who hasn't gone yet? So you 2 in the back, and 3 from the first round, and you're still here. There's our 5.
It was a dark and stormy night and we were getting wet. Real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. No, officer, I didn't see him, they said, coughing up a collar. Alrighty.
I don't like this.
This is like the new Jackbox game. It's just out of focus, sideways, and
Aesthetic.
I like it like this. Don't ruin my immersion.
Well, it's not working.
This is performance art in the band.
It is.
Is this thing even capable of going in focus?
I don't think
Kind of
so.
is.
You're getting there.
No, you see, it's a brilliantly innovative literary technique where it replicates the difficulty
The
of...
recording of this is
Do you
going to
need-
be
do you
glorious.
need someone like me to
Just
stand
put a
up
chair
there
on the
all
table, see if
day?
that works.
Okay, Iggy, you need a new assistant.
Like, it's replicating the difficulty of
I-
making
we-
out
we
any
can-
of the
we
words
can go
when
to
you're
that other
actually
panel and
trying to
auction
read
off
a
an
book
assistant.
in a dark and stormy
Try
night.
putting a chair on a table, see if you can bounce out that way.
Chair on the table sounds bad. Okay, one's still writing.
But I might be annoyed enough that I'm gonna do it.
Still two. Put him in the bag. Put him in.
Hey, what's this thing?
Oh, you
Oh!
found the tilt.
I found a thing.
I've never seen one of those have that kind of thing.
Whoop.
All right, everybody in? All right.
It's still on screen.
There you go.
Still blurry.
I am awesome! Ah, it's worse again.
Oh, no, I
So, wait a second. So it has VGA and like composite and stuff. Is this like 640 by 480? Like, what's the actual aspect ratio?
I don't know, it might be 320.
You can turn the chair.
Why aren't you reading?
I'm amused. It started storming night. Well, it went real wet. It was a real hassle. We disposed of all the evidence. No, officer, I didn't see him. They said coughing up a collar. All right. They may have went into that bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there. The cops weren't buying it. One of them began to draw.
Whoa.
That got dark.
Suddenly, we heard a loud sound coming out of Dragors.
No, 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 bad.
They said sound.
Meanwhile, our technician was trying to remember if he needed an HDMI or a VGA cord. Just then, a very annoyed dragger rushed up to handle the situation. That is all of them. So, we have a line here. Who votes for cops were buying it? One of them began to draw. 1, 2, 3. They may have went in the bathroom, but I wouldn't go in there. 1, 2, 3. Suddenly, we heard a loud sound coming out of Dragors. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. Just then, a very annoyed dragger rushed up to handle the situation. 1, 2. And meanwhile, our technician was trying to remember what kind of cord they needed. 1, 2. Uh-oh.
Do a revote with just the top 2 or 3.
There's 3-way tie.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's do the actual time, everybody. Who wants the bathroom? One from the bathroom. Let's have it in the bathroom. Okay, 4. Cops were buying. 1, 2. Okay, that was it. And suddenly something came out of Draggers. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Something about drivers?
Which one is longer?
Confusing, are you voting or not?
We're going to the final count here too. Let's see if I can believe on this one. Looks like 45, excuse me, versus you've been saved.
Yay!
Just short enough. Because the reason the tiebreaker is like that is typically the longer answer is harder to get more votes. Just because.
That means we all know what we need to write next.
It was a dark and stormy night and we were getting wet. Real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. No, officer, I didn't see him, they said, coughing up a collar. They may have went into that bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there.
Any of you writing?
I'll leave it to you guys to figure out if quotes should be in there or not, but there weren't on this one, so that's how it got entered. Oh right, no one can tell.
If you're on this side of the room, want to write? Go for it.
Ah, gee golly.
What?
We before everyone sat down, you came in a little bit later, so you're out of sync. You're going to write for this side. I'll bring you up again.
Should I read the Anthrohio one? It's a little bit more of a classic one.
Go for it.
It was a dark and stormy night around 420 BCE. The first Versuit games were being held in Nashville, Tennessee. Back then, they were still called animals, dang furries. They did invented paddles recently, no longer relying on primeval instincts to survive. They were fighting for the ultimate prize, a Spider-Man costume from Party City. I would like to point out Invented Paddles was weirdly capitalized for no reason and turned into a character name. Invented Paddles got up, still a mess, but she wouldn't give up yet. Yup. And then we actually were given a haiku. Discovered poles, well, not a real haiku. Discovered poles, her arch nemesis, watched with a mad cackle. After being chased through the woods, we found more paddles and invented paddles left everywhere. We were terrified. And then the murders began. And then someone submitted just a smiley face and it won the vote. Moral of the story, never battle the paddle.
Oh.
Some of these get really silly.
Why are we doing this on the phone, Dragor?
Because my tech equipment blew up and I didn't bring it.
Oh. Okay.
Why'd you blow it up?
I didn't blow it up. Nature decided to give me the finger again.
Did you give it back? Finger right back in nature?
I mean, I cussed a lot.
You should have threw a plastic bag in the wind.
We should all take a picture of that. And do you know what's going on with North and tweeting the chair?
I have no idea, but I'm thinking of tweeting this panel going quality treatment.
I like that it's propped up by a phone on top of
Wait. Did I get that in the picture? I did.
Make do with what we have.
Did I get yours? All right.
I feel like I really shouldn't tweet this.
Never mind.
Do whatever you want, man.
You don't got it?
No.
The problem is I'm stacked.
All right, we got all of our
It
answers.
was a dark and stormy night. We were getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. No, officer, I didn't see him. They said, coughing up a collar. They may have went into that bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there, ...
All right. The suspicious cops walked to the bathroom and a loud explosion came from the bathroom, and it's a greater than symbol, colon, left parentheses, which is like that face.
The face.
Angry face.
I just say what's on the card. Dragger has been in there.
Piss off.
The cops open the door anyways. Suddenly piles of fur spill out of the doorway. The toilet was heard being flushed. No, officer, don't go in there. All right, that's all I got. So, who voted votes for suspicious cops walked to the bathroom and a loud explosion came from the bathroom?
Is that the one with the face?
Yes, that's the one with the face. Okay, so that's almost the balance of the room. Dragger's been in there. Couple, cool. Cops open the door anyways. Cool. And toilet, don't go in there. Yeah, it's a clear winner. Figure that out.
What did you give me?
I don't know, but that's definitely a greater than symbol.
It won.
So who hasn't written here in a while? Okay, so we're gonna do this group of 4, and the next one we're gonna do this group, 2 in the back and 3 in the front. And we figured it out. We got a 3-cycle now. 3-cycle land.
It was a dark and stormy night and we were getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. No, officer, I didn't see him, they said, coughing up a collar. They may have went into that bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there, ... The suspicious cops walked to the bathroom and a loud explosion came from the bathroom. We have used the word bathroom a lot.
I approve.
Okay.
You know my typical luck with hotel rooms? My toilet doesn't work.
Wait, seriously? Iggy has the worst luck. Which way, was it here where you had like a severe leak from a pipe in a room?
No, the rain from outside came into my room.
Have you checked to see if this rain is getting in or?
No! Please no.
Look, memories, sweet memories, Iggy.
If you like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain.
No, but he does like Louders and Di Serono.
I brought a handle and 2 bottles with me.
I need to have Louders before this weekend is up. I need to make a porch. If you guys don't know what Louders is, it's a really cheap scotch that tastes way better than it should at its price point, but still most definitely is not good.
And you want to torture yourself.
Look, it's a thing Iggy and I do. You have to get the glass bottle version. The plastic bottle version is gross. What? I'm not wrong.
You're not. Hey, sometimes I have a bad day and it's cheaper by the handle.
Oh, God. Get a different job. If you're having that bad of a day, you need to make some life changes.
I also love how because like normally scotch has like that caramel color to it, but because it's in that plastic bottle, it actually looks green inside of the plastic jug.
That's terrific.
Like I was drawn to the product because it looked distinctively like mouthwash.
That's a weird thing to say, you know.
All things considered, that's one of the more normal lines out of Iggy. Roast Master Iggy.
Yes.
It was a dark and stormy night. We were getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. No, officer, I didn't see him. They said coughing up a collar. They may have went into that bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there. The suspicious cops walked into the bathroom and a loud explosion came from the bathroom. Smiley facey with like the angry eyebrow thing.
The bathroom had a bad smell and Dragger walked out.
Fuck off.
At least it wasn't an elevator.
Apparently some geniuses thought it would be fun to mess around with fireworks in there.
Fireworks and porcelain is fun.
Fireworks.
They found a certain ferret desperately trying to contain the exploding contents of the toilet using only his top hat.
Yeah!
Capital T, capital H. Cop, and here's a face. Oh no!
Yeah, I'm voting for that just to see how types it.
Shut up! Stop doing this to
Alright,
me!
those are all the replies I got.
No!
Who votes for bathroom had a bad smell? Dragger left it. Some geniuses thought it'd be fun to shoot off some fireworks in the bathroom. 1. They found a certain ferret in the bathroom. Top hat. Capital T, capital H. 4, 5, 6. And, oh no! I'm gonna go with this one.
Why? What am I
Those are
doing?
6 fast votes. It's all yours.
Combine them.
Type that.
Good luck with that.
Type that, Emacs. Alright, so here on this side, you didn't draw in the last round. So you can write in this round, you can write in this one. So 3 in the front, 2 in the back.
Or draw.
Yeah.
You don't have your Unicode, all
figured out how to do it. Okay. It was a dark and stormy night. We were getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. No officer, I didn't see him, they said, coughing up a collar. They may have went into that bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there. The suspicious cops walked to the bathroom and a loud explosion came from the bathroom. Cop, arrow. I did ASCII art of a cop. You can see like the sheriff hat thing he has. It's kind of there. See, look. Oh no! That is my ASCII art interpretation of this. You all should be ashamed. Do they know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to set fire to my hard drive.
You know, I figured out how to play Russian roulette in Ubuntu. Or any Linux. You just you can call RAND or whatever and just have it RMRF your drive.
No. You have it roulette kill random processes, and you see how long you can go before your machine becomes
Have you
a
seen the Doom top?
I played it sometimes, and when I get really angry at my computer, I get out the BFG.
That's the real way to do it.
What is going on out there?
Are we into?
Next thing we know,
I've
there's some
seen it.
acapella group out there.
What?
Next thing we know, there's some acapella group out there.
The Pharrhythmics are here, I believe. Sometimes you'll just come across a random group of furries doing a cappella Pokemon song. They're really good at it. Yeah. Pokepelego. Ah!
I think I saw a Pokemon.
You have not played
out there.
Sun and Moon, have you? Oh, that's a thing they added. There's beans.
It's like you've been on Survivor, you know.
Yeah, if you guys need more paper, there's more up here. I also have some pre-tour strips. If you want my strips,
I want some strip.
Oh, this one.
doable. Do you need some strips? Oh, you need pens? Yeah, there's pens up here as well.
Take that picture of the crow.
Can you read the thing?
It was a dark and stormy night. We were getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. No, officer, I didn't see him. They said coughing up a collar. They may have went to that bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there. The suspicious cops walked to the bathroom, and a loud explosion came from the bathroom. Cop, arrow, hat. Oh no!
Then they kicked him in the booty. A large ferret emerged from the toilet, a top hat upon his head. Oh, and that's the face.
Stop it.
The cop looked increasingly exacerbated. Buddy, when you were growing up, didn't you see any of those public service announcements about how boring bombardier beetles is hazardous to your health?
Whoa!
The explosion launched teeny weenies everywhere. The cop that screamed ended up with a mouthful.
I want to get that commission.
To his sudden surprise, his badge jumped off his jacket and exclaimed, "I didn't sign up for this." And shh, didn't anyone hear that sound? It's coming out of Dragor. Run! He's gonna blow! I swear I didn't write that one.
Yeah, the handwriting's too neat.
Alright, who votes for kicking in the booty? One. Large ferret emerged from the toilet. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Buddy, didn't you see any of those public service announcements? The boring beetles hazardous to your health. Just one.
What's boring bombardier mean?
Bombardier, thank you. The explosion launched teeny weenies everywhere. Cop got a mouthful, that I think. Didn't sign up for this. Couple. And it's gonna blow up. Alright. That's the winner.
Yeah.
Alright.
You're welcome, Dragger.
So this side of the room, right? And since you just came in, if you want to throw one in on this one, go for it.
Okay. Let's do it.
If you don't have one for the round, that's fine.
Yes.
It was a dark and stormy night. We were getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. No, officer, I didn't see him. They said coughing up a collar. They may have went into the bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there. The suspicious cops walked to the bathroom. An loud explosion came from the bathroom. Cop, arrow, hat, ah. Oh no! The explosion launched teeny weenies everywhere. The cops screamed, ended up with a mouthful. That, too, was a mouthful.
Well, that I contributed by using my phone's case to prop up your projector.
I'm starting to get responses to the picture. Wait, hey. I didn't tag anyone, but, well, this is turning out to be yet another very, very silly adventure.
Just a tiny one.
Just a teeny weeny one.
I know. Keep it safe for once.
I think it's really bad.
We're trying to see how hard they're trying to keep it safe. We can't do it.
It's true.
I'm just thinking. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the next one for bathroom. Yeah. Well, exactly. Oh, no, in there. It's all right.
Alright. Want to pull them up there? What do we got?
Do I have to do this in one breath again?
Yes.
It was a dark and stormy night. We were getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. No, officer, I didn't see him. They said coughing up a collar. They may have went into the bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there. The suspicious cops walked into the bathroom, and a loud explosion came from the bathroom. Cop, arrow, hat. Ah! Oh no! The explosion launched teeny weenies everywhere. The cop that screamed ended up with a mouthful.
This one's all scratched out. Oh, there's stuff written on the back. He fell on the ground. Quick! Does someone know the Heimlich maneuver? Shouted one of the cops. He immediately swallowed the load of delicious, nutritious miniature sausages and proceeded to draw his sidearm. He began to panic as he choked on the teeny weenies. Teeny weenies, capital T, capital W.
Those are like complete opposites of the spectrum.
Oh God, it got in my mouth. Again? Pony.move.
Oh my god.
Oh
Is it like an MP4 or something?
no, that's a bad
Crush,
reference.
kill, destroys.
Oh!
Yeah.
I'm
Oh.
sad I know what that is.
Please end my suffering.
The door of the stall behind him creaked, opened. Let me start again. The door of the stall behind him creaked, opened slowly. How do they taste? I just wanted to make sure I had that one right. All right. So who votes for the swallowed load of delicious, nutritious sausages? 1, 2, 3. All right. Began to panic, choked on the teeny weenies. Good one. All right. Fell on the ground. Does anyone know the Heimlich maneuver? What? How do they taste? Door creaked open. Uh-oh. That must be our winner. Oh God, it's in my mouth again? Pony? Okay. This is the one. Alright, there's your winner. So the middle here, you 4. Yeah. You guys, right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And like if you really have one and you die and you get one.
Alrighty, it was a dark and stormy night. We were getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. No officer, I didn't see him. They said coughing up a collar. They may have went into that bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there. ... The suspicious cops walked into the bathroom and a loud explosion came from the bathroom. Cop! Ah! Oh no! The explosion launched teeny weenies everywhere. The cop that screamed ended up with a mouthful. The door of the stall behind him creaked open slowly. How did they taste?
How do they taste?
How do they taste? How do they taste?
How do they
How do they taste?
How do they taste?
Did you know Smarties are a Canadian thing?
Well, it depends on what kind. Like, if you go to the UK, Smarties are basically M&M's there.
They're different.
Yeah, the
Those are
sugar
actually-
confectionaries here are, well, they're little sugar pucks, really.
They even have their own Hershey's factory in Canada, because the chocolate here is not good enough.
Not only is Hershey's bars here basically not chocolate, it's because in America they use powdered milk all the time, and it's just ugh.
And you'd think from a country that bags their milk, they would know how to make chocolate quite well.
Every so often in Chicago, when the wind blows a certain way, the entire downtown city smells of chocolate because of the Blommer Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, that's a thing.
You know, you say that, and then they tell you, like, if you're having a really bad diabetic episode, sometimes, like, your own sweat, you might smell like fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. So you walk outside, you're like, am I having a diabetic episode, or is it the Blommer Chocolate Factory?
Just to make sure we get
Better than the
You gotta put
brewery
on a
down
gas
there
mask.
that's next to you. Place to look at this brewery down the street.
Oh, you get yeast.
Oh, it's
Does it get a rise out of you?
How long were you brewing that joke?
Oh, I get it.
Don't worry, I can draft more.
The worst is coffee roasting in my experience.
Why?
Because the smell of someone roasting coffee is not the smell of roast coffee.
Oh.
It's the smell of all the stuff burning on.
Oh!
So all the poop. You know those coffee beans.
I'm gonna read these.
Okay.
Set me up.
It was a dark and stormy night. We were getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle when we disposed of all the evidence. No officer, I didn't see him. They said coughing up a collar. They may have went into that bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there. The suspicious cops walked into the bathroom and a loud explosion came from the bathroom. Cop! Oh no! The explosion launched teeny weenies everywhere. The cop screamed, ended up with a mouthful. The door of the stall behind him creaked open slowly. How do they taste?
The cop projectile vomited over the stall. The vomit landing on the top hat of the ferret sitting there.
Wow.
Is someone trying to, like, exercise some, like, kink stuff
The cop
today?
said OWO. Some nearby furs noticed the OWO and asked the cop if he wanted cuddles. OWO is written in one of the most adorable fonts you could possibly imagine.
Webdings. Wingdings.
They're both things.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I tried. What's funny is you said that and I read this upside down. It looks like wing dings. It does actually look like wing dings if you look at it upside down. I used my own meat. Equal sign, capital D.
Whoa.
That's a smiley face. Oh, that's all of them. Okay. Oh no. Who votes for cop OWO cuddles? Just a few. Cop projectile vomited over a top. Just. So everyone on this side that didn't go for the last one, go for this one.
Every time I do Control S, I get a little bit more sad.
Really?
Yeah, because this is getting saved to my hard drive.
Aw, for you.
This is awesome.
Never mind.
No, I save all of these.
No, I was
I
gonna
think he's
say,
got some good ones too.
Stream of deadly.
no, I was gonna say,
Yes.
send it to
Is that how the person smelled foment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I was just curious.
That is what was here.
I heard a lot.
Yeah, normally we're much more sticklers on the pronunciation, so we're just trying to, just because of everything that's happened here.
Oh, we
The only
have
thing
7
missing is
more
the-
minutes.
Yeah.
So, and I do want to do the room, so I don't want to
Okay.
go too far over.
Okay. So.
We can do this line and then probably the more.
Next line is gonna be the last line of the story, then the moral.
Yes.
We'll do this
Okay.
quick fire.
Yeah.
The moral, I'll just let everyone write it, but we're gonna quick fire the whole thing. I don't have that.
Hey Iggy, you know what we haven't had a problem with because we didn't announce at the beginning?
What?
That is an all ages panel.
This is never a problem at my panels.
Yeah, but when we announce it, then we usually get a 13-year-old that's dirtier than everyone else in the room.
Their parents said it was okay.
Oh my gosh, that was really
Their parents
weird.
loved it, and I said, you better watch.
Yeah.
They absolutely killed this game. They did so well.
Yeah.
I still have those slips.
I have to show you the slips I have from BLFC.
Oh God.
I wasn't there, so yeah, I
Hey.
need to.
Your spirit was with us. It made my life hell.
Now I want to read those. Now I want to read those.
Well, I read the BLFC one off, but there were the other ones that were submitted that didn't
Any
win
others?
for various reasons.
No, those are the ones I want to read.
I'll pick up these two and then I'm gonna read them. Jagger, give me the story real quick.
It was a dark and stormy night. We were getting wet, real wet. It was a real hassle. We disposed of all the evidence. No officer, I didn't see him. They said coughing up a collar. They may have went into that bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there. The suspicious cops walked in the bathroom, and a loud explosion came from the bathroom. Cop, oh no! The explosion launched teeny weenies everywhere. The cop screamed, ended up with the mouth of the door of the stall behind him, creaked open slowly. How do they taste? The cop projectile vomited all over the stall, with vomit landing on the top hat of the ferret sitting there. I decree it is pronounced vomit now.
I immediately left the scene in disgust. Not my problem, and I still needed to lay low. Blame Canada. Ferret looked discouraged as he flushed himself back down the toilet.
Where furry trash belongs.
Tall Ferret blinked and shook the remnants from his hat. Ah, the best birthday yet. My, you are a talented vomiteer, said the ferret. Would you like to be the guest of honor at a convention?
Oh. Is that how we got using?
Meanwhile, in the...
Tell us.
See if you can make more sense of that than I can.
No, you guys got me because I didn't know how to say
Meanwhile, in
no.
the something room?
Whoever wrote this needs to translate, because otherwise it
Who
looks
wrote the one
like...
that said, like,
Let me see. No, let me see if I can read it.
meanwhile, in the ladies' room. Okay. Okay, who votes for? Immediately left in disgust, not my problem. Uh-huh. I know where this is going. Blame Canada. Uh-huh. Ferret looked discouraged as he flushed himself back down the toilet. That's what I thought. You're a talented volunteer. How would you like to be guest of honor at my convention? Ooh, it's a really good answer. I like it. 2 votes. The best birthday yet. I don't know why I read that. I think those are really good answers. All right, so this side of the room. Last line of the story. You got to wrap up the story somehow.
What's not the moral?
I thought that was the last line of the story.
This is the last round of the story. Quickly, write the last round of the story. Do we want to just call that? We could just call it. I don't like the end of the story. We just call it the end of the story.
Do we want to do everyone can submit the moral now? Let's do that. We got 3 minutes.
Let's do the moral. Whoever has a moral to the story may submit a moral to the story.
You don't have to submit. So I'm going to read. This is our story, and now we have to write the moral. We give you the moral of the story, colon, and then you write the moral of the story. It was a dark and stormy night, and we were getting wet. Real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. No officer, I didn't see him, they said, coughing up a collar. They may have went into that bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there. The suspicious cops walked into the bathroom, and a loud explosion came from the bathroom. Cop, arrow, hat, O-face. Oh no! It's technically correct, the best kind of correct. The explosion launched teeny weenies everywhere. The cop that screamed ended up with a mouthful. The door of the stall behind him creaked open slowly. How did they taste? The cop projectile vomited all over the stall, the vomit landing on the top half of the ferret sitting there. The tall ferret blinked and shook the remnants from his hat. Ah, the best birthday yet! And the moral of the story is in progress. That's not like the actual thing. I'm commenting on its status.
I'm
Not
glad
literally.
you're reading this.
Stop trying to take what everyone is saying.
Shut up!
The moral of the story is in progress. That's so metagame. Go away.
I'm glad definitely needs to see this story.
Moral of this. Yeah, if you got one. A few more seconds here. Anybody else? I'm trying to fire my way through all these.
Just a little paper there.
Yeah.
You're gonna be so many to vote on.
So what do we got? We got a few hours in Pyramid. I know we got Charity Who's Line. Got a bunch of other stuff going on tonight.
Yeah, there's other panels. Show up to other panels.
There are choices.
Did we get paid to show up?
You get paid double what you make now.
Triple.
Being in this
Pay her
room.
triple.
We can do triple.
Oh.
You get paid with laughter.
You made
and
me
joy.
happy.
All right, everyone's in, right? Here we go. Moral of the story. Chicago. Celebrations are like hangovers, best kept inside the body with the lights out.
Wow.
Don't bore people, kids. Weird stuff happens. Maybe medical crack cocaine should be legalized in this state.
Someone was at Who's Line last night.
The moral of the story is no matter what the age limit is at a panel, furries will bring kinks into it. And in parentheses, can I touch your beard if this wins? Question mark.
No, you didn't win yet.
Everyone knows cops don't swallow. The scene zooms to a man shooting a hard drive. You cannot hurt anyone anymore. Never take strangers' story ideas. Furries throw the best parties. Sharing is caring. Always pack a fair. In progress, ... Nom nom with asterisks. And that's how you increase your fun level.
Nice, thank you.
Suddenly, this computer became self-aware, refusing to add more to the story. The moral, just smile. Happy characters. And got more here. Don't expect a FurCon to remain SFW. One more. You can find a new fetish when you least expect it. That is all of them I have there. So quick fire. So hopefully at some point like half the room likes one of these, and we're going to go with that. In progress. And no votes, it's out. Furries throw the best parties. No votes, it's out. Find a fetish, this is second. 1, 2. Okay, so we're holding on 1. Fun level. No one likes fun. Scene zooms to man shooting a hard drive. You can't hurt anyone anymore. Story ideas. Okay, so we're rolling with about 6. Chicago, celebrations are like hangovers. Don't bore people. Weird stuff happens. Maybe medical crack cocaine should be legalized in this state. Very funny. Don't expect the FurCon to remain SFW. We'll save that one. So his computer became self-aware. Doesn't want to add more to the story. Okay. Sharing is caring. 1 in there. Always pack a fair. Alright. Nom nom nom. Cops don't swallow. Oh, wait. 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay. Moving on. If this wins, someone gets to touch my beard. You lose. Everyone knows cops. I'm actually someone who's 7 to 6. Close vote. All right. There's your moral of the story.
Alright, before I go, one last time. It was a dark and stormy night and we were getting wet. Real wet. It was a real hassle, but we disposed of all the evidence. No, officer, I didn't see him, they said, coughing up a collar. They might have went into that bathroom, but I definitely wouldn't go in there. The suspicious cops walked to the bathroom and a loud explosion came from the bathroom. Eyebrows, smiley face, thing. Cop, arrow, hat, O-face. Oh no! The explosion launched teeny weenies everywhere. The cop that screamed ended up with a mouthful. The door of the stall behind him creaked open slowly. How do they taste? The cop projectile vomited all over the stall, the vomit landing on the top of the hat of the ferret sitting there. The tall ferret blinked and shook the remnants from his hat. Ah, the best birthday yet. The moral of the story, everyone knows cops don't swallow.
Well done, Monty. A wonderful, wonderful story. Is the quick
Silver Gatoman, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gatoman, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gatoman, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.